Hi y'all, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Molly Kate, and today I'm going to be showing you what I do every month to refresh and touch up my copper red hair, because as you can see, my roots are coming in. So the first thing I use is obviously the hair dye. This is the Sally Beauty Ion Brilliance hair dye in 4 different colors, linked below. I have the 20 volume developer to mix in with this, as well as a hair dye kit. This is essential. And then the next thing that I need is some wipe off wipes, because the hair dye will get everywhere. Make sure you have some clips to pull your hair back, and then you'll be ready to section off your hair. So when I'm touching up my hair, what I do is section it off above my ears, because what we're going to do is be dyeing your roots first. So you can use a combination of either claw clips or smaller hair clips, whatever works for your hair, to section it off above your ears and keep your hair out of the way. So that's what I'm doing here, just kind of pinning the hair up the best I can, and then we're going to mix our hair dye. So the colors that I'm using here are the Ion Brilliance 8RC, 7RC, 7IR, and 7RR. And I'm mixing them with equal parts developer, that's 20 volume. The bowl that I have here actually has the ounces marked on the side, so I knew exactly how much I needed to pour in of the developer. Once I mix it all together, then it's time to start applying the hair dye to my roots. So it comes out this super bright pink color. I almost forgot to put on my little cover up here, but the reason we want to start with the roots is because your roots are the darkest and will need the longest amount of time to develop. So it's important to make sure you get all of your roots covered. And at this point, I realized that I forgot to be using my gloves, so I stopped and put my gloves on. That would have been really bad if I, forgot to do that. But anyways, we are back at it. You can see I'm just going in here, and I'm not being super neat. I'm definitely being thorough, but not the cleanest, neatest. You don't have to be perfect at this. Just try your best and make sure to pick up pieces like I'm doing here so you can really see the outgrowth of your roots, and then make sure you cover them nicely. So I'm just going in here trying to cover any of the brown that I can find, and it's really okay if you're not doing this perfectly. I promise in the end it will all work out. Just try your best and just pick up pieces and cover the roots to the best of your ability. So you can see here now I'm working underneath and just trying to get all of the roots that I can see in the front before I end up sectioning off my hair in the back. And when I get to the back, I'm going to grab a mirror so I can see what I'm doing there. So just moving over to each side of my head so everything's nice and even. I'm not missing any roots. You can already see the color start to develop here a little bit. And then once I feel like I have all of those roots covered, I just very not neatly just pin my hair up, and now I'm turning to the back. So you can see I have that little mirror there, and I'm just trying to get the roots that I couldn't see from the front. This is not a perfect practice, but I mean, I do this every month. Red hair takes a lot of upkeep, so you'll get better with practice. Just try your best to cover your roots to the best of your ability. So you can see I'm doing that here and dragging the hair dye down just a little bit. And then I'm going to pin that hair up so I can get the roots underneath there. Hair dye always gets on the back of my neck at this point, but I try not to worry about it too much. That's what the wipe off hair dye remover wipes are for. I have those linked below in my Amazon storefront along with everything I'm using here in this video. The makeup wipes are literally to die for, so I'm not too worried about getting the hair dye on my neck right now because I know I can clean it up. So Once I feel like I have my roots covered the best I can, I kind of just let the hair back down, and then I just go back in to see, like, okay, where am I still missing? And it's usually in the back. I definitely take my time doing this so that I can get all the roots in the back covered. This is so messy. If you're a professional hair dyer, hairstylist, you're probably cringing at me so hard right now, but you know, this is just what works for me. I'm also going in and massaging the hair dye into my roots a little bit, and you can definitely see the color already starting to develop. So this is why it's important to start with your roots. That's your darkest hair color, so this can already start to process before you move on to the rest of your hair. So take the most amount of time with this, and then when it's time to move on to the rest of your hair, it won't take quite as long. I also go back in to the front and make sure I get all the framing pieces around my face before I move on to the rest of my hair. So step 4 is to start applying the dye to the ends of your hair. You can see this gets kind of messy because this is where you start to apply a larger amount of the hair dye. Since I have really long and really thick hair, the majority of the hair dye ends up going in the portions below my ears, so it can get kind of messy. Sometimes it will fall onto the floor, so you have to be very careful. But basically here I'm just applying it with the brush and then using my fingers to really just massage it in. And you really want to open your hair and really make sure you're getting all of the hair inside, because if you just paint on it like I'm doing here, you won't get the hair dye on the hair that's inside. So that's why it's important. You can paint it, and then you have to open your hair, kind of spread it, massage it, make sure you're getting the hair dye inside all of your locks and not just painted on the outside. So depending on how long your hair is, this could be quite the process, but just take your time. Your hair dye will already be developing on your roots at this point. So what you're doing here is just really making sure that the rest of your hair is good to go, and just massage the hair dye in as needed. And again, make sure you're getting the back of your hair. This is super important. Have a friend help you if they're able to, or use a mirror if you need to. It's just important that you're covering all the hair as much as possible, and then work it all the way down to the tips. So here I'm just brushing the hair all the way up, because when the hair sits and waits for it to process, I like to keep it all up, and then you can put like a plastic cap over it or even just a claw clip, and this also helps see where your roots are, make sure you don't miss anything. This is really me just being overly cautious going back in. Probably didn't need to, but better just to make sure everything's nice and covered. You can already see hair getting darker here. Look, my hair just fell on my face, and you can see all the hair dye that just got on my face. But so now that my hair is all up and ready to sit and be developed, I'm going to wait 45 minutes. So really, this is just me being overly cautious. It's really only supposed to be 45 minutes from the start of doing your roots, because 25 minutes is the most important. But just to be safe, I'm going to wait a full 45 minutes. And while I wait and have my hair dye developing, I use that time to clean everything up. So I clean up my workspace, and then I also take those remover wipes and clean up any hair dye that's on my ears, on my face. Look how amazing these wipes work. They are literally to die for. I have them linked below in my Amazon storefront, along with everything else used in this video. After this, I just rinse out my hair, and let's see the final results. Okay, y'all, I'm back, and this is the final color. I went ahead and rinsed out the hair dye, dried it, straightened my hair, and this is the final outcome. It's definitely looking dark in here because of the lighting in my bathroom. You can kind of see up here at the roots that it's lighter and more vibrant, but you can see the roots are very nicely even, so you don't see any hot roots and you don't see any of the brunette coming in anymore, and it's very even all the way around. So that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed learning how I touch up my red color and re-dye my roots. Again, I do this every month because red hair is a lot of upkeep, but it's totally worth it. I love having red hair. I think it's very unique, and I think it just suits me a little better than the brown hair did. So thank you so much for watching. If you learned anything, please hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for my next video. Until next time, bye y'all.